Notice, in accordance with the new cover regulations, this episode of Quoth Raven is intended for ages 16 up, while some of the content we will feature is sometimes kid-friendly. The context of the episode is to address adults and inform them of said content within the research as consumers in service of their youth. In other words, parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles, teachers, librarians, etc. There is the possibility of adult language present on the episode as well. Rated TV 16 and up. Hello, everyone. Good to see you again. I just have to get the banner straightened out here real quick here. There we go. And we're good there. All right. Now, sorry about that. I thought I lost my banner that's running across the screen here. But anyway, welcome. It's a later episode than usual. A lot of crazy things went on today. I was supposed to get my air conditioning annual checkup, and they arrived 3 hours later than what we were told by the dispatcher. Then we had issues. We had to replace capacitor on one of the machines on one of the air conditioning units. We had to do a bunch of other stuff. It took quite a long time. And on top of that, I had to go run some errands after that was taken care of. So that's why I'm so late tonight. Now, it is a huge episode this week. We've got reviews, talking previews, crowdfunding discussion, lots of stuff. So let's get right to it, shall we? Let's start with reviews. And we'll start with back issue 129, $9.95 from publisher Tomorrow's Publishing. Writers and artists are various for ages 13 and up. Genre is Interview and Historical Review Magazine, released July 28, 2021. And this issue features a variety of articles discussing all kinds of TV tie-in comics from Hanna-Barbera cartoon comics like the Flintstones, Huckleberry Hound, Speed Buggy, and the Jetsons, among many others, to live-action type characters and comics like the Hardy Boys, $6 Million Man, other type stuff like that, to Sandy Frank's Battle of the Planets, Mighty Mouse, Rocky and Bullwinkle, Wheelie and the Chopper Bunch. There's probably a good 35 different titles discussed between the various articles. I'm still reading it. There's just a lot. There's just so much to go through in this particular magazine. It's just really jam-packed with really good articles. Found nothing but quality articles so far, so I really have no reason to expect less from this particular issue of the magazine. So I'm going to give it a 5-star rating. There's not a whole lot to show particularly. I could show a few of the pieces of the artwork, but it's kind of clips of pages in with articles rather than full comics pages per se. So we're going to go ahead and just move on because we got so much stuff to cover tonight. Our next book is The Girls of Dimension 13, number 4, $3.99 from Aftershock Comics. Writer is Graham Nolan, artist is Brett Blevins, colors by Gregory Wright. The genre is fantasy supernatural, released July 28, 2021. And what it's about, alliances are made amongst battles of survival as Abby and Cece, that's two girls on the cover, navigate different dimensions on their way to find their friends and confront the evil Abraxas. All this as Abby has a poignant moment with her father's spirit who died shortly before the events of the story of the series. Only Abraxas has tricked our duo and set up a trap for them using their newfound friends as bait. As inexperienced witches, can Abby and Cece possibly succeed in finding and saving their friends and their mentor, Anna Nightlinger, from Abraxas's clutches? My thoughts are, I don't really buy into the alliances part of the description that they gave us, since Abby and Cece really don't have the aid of the abstractions people once they leave that dimension. But okay, whatever. Brett Blevins does a really exceptional job illustrating that dimension, that segment of the story. The rest of the book is pretty straightforward and predictable in terms of story. It's very well executed, nothing inherently wrong with it, but ultimately it's just kind of there. It doesn't have quite enough urgency, for lack of a better word, to the events taking place. I never felt like Abraxas is any real threat in the story. As far as I know, there's only one issue left of the storyline, and the foursome are about to have their throwdown. I also wish, since Anna was, spoiler alert, killed at the end, the other two young witches should have their powers siphoned off completely, and I say that in quotations, by Abraxas and be very weak. Their powers would come back to them, but right at the cliffhanger ending, they show the book, and it's like all four of them have their powers back, but Abraxas was siphoning off the life forces and the magical energies of all of the two younger witches of the foursome and Anna. So I would think they would at least be powerless, even if their life forces were still unstable. They just wouldn't have their connection to their magic yet. It would have to come back to them, I would think. Kind of like, when you go get a blood transfer, you give blood and you feel a little bit weak and you have to have, a cookie or something to replenish your blood sugar or something, That's what I'm kind of thinking like, okay? So I think in that respect, I thought only Abby and Cece should have their magics available to use at the very end of the story. Anyway, it's recommended for ages 13 and up. I give it 3 stars out of 5. Here's some of the artwork. Cece, Abby's kind of wiped out and really doesn't know how to can't do the dimensional transportation spell from the abstract people to the next dimension. And so Cece tries it, and they end up in a bad situation. And Abby tries to get them out of there, basically. And they manage at the end to get out. And here's at the end of the storyline. She tries to free Anna and the other two friends that are witches. One of them says, "Don't." There's a spell of protection on it. And Cece gets knocked out from it. And then Abby, who's like the chosen one, just overpowers even the spell of protection and frees everybody. But, of course, Nightlinger is just too wiped out and too far gone. And she tries to tell Abby something important about Abraxas not under no circumstance can he, and then she passes away, so they don't know exactly what he can or can't be doing. But anyway, it's not bad artwork. In fact, it's exceptional artwork for what it is, for what the story is and everything. And I just, I enjoyed it for what it is. Okay, and our next book is Grendel, Devil's Odyssey, number 8 of 8. Publisher is Dark Horse, $3.99. The writer, illustrator is Matt Wagner, with colors by Brandon Wagner. Ages 16 and up. Cover art is by Matt Wagner. Here, there's also another cover artist, and I can't remember who it is off the top of my head because I didn't get that issue. My retailer was shorted it, so I didn't get both books. Anyway, genre, science fiction, fantasy, action adventure, released July 28th. And what it's about. Grendel Prime and Sigma 7 are captured by a future race called the Consortium, and they basically judge humanity and Earth on Grendel's actions and find him unworthy and being out in space trying to save humanity by finding them a planet to live on from, as Earth is supposed to be getting ruined by environmental issues and other things. So he gets sent back to Earth, having failed. Over 400 years have passed since he left. And when Grendel arrives, he finds that the Grendel symbol and all that are associated with it are now punishable by death. My thought is it's a rather anticlimactic issue. It leads right into the next upcoming story, Devil's Crucible, and it was kind of disappointing. I would have liked to have seen something a little bit more than what we got there. But I gave it 3 out of 5 stars because it's an average comic. There's nothing inherently wrong. It's just I kind of have a little bit higher expectation of Matt Wagner, I guess. But it was there. 3 out of 5 stars, as I said. Here's the artwork. Sigma and Grendel have their ship, and there's a whole huge armada of ships, and the Ever Onward is like the big name ship. And he's like well, we're going to just teleport you two um, onto board from their ship from Prime ship to their ship. There we go. And Derry's now there, and of course, they have a conversation and stuff. And like I said, he is tested and found to be wanting, and they just decide, well, you're just going back home to Earth now. You failed. So that's the way it is. No big deal. And then, they get back to Earth, and because they don't want Earthlings to like have any type of space flight or whatever, I guess space flight's been destroyed by this point. They know this at Earth. They took his ship and said, nope, it's only in geosynchronous orbit. You can't land it, so you're going to have to do basically a landfall dive off out of space into the atmosphere and crash land into a water landing, and then walk along the bottom of the sea and then get it come out. And then when they come out, this will not be the same world you left behind. Who knows what state, either civilized or savage, which human society will have evolved over 400 years that you've been gone. And it ends with reward for anyone bearing the name of or likeness of a Grendel. Basically, by order of the Necrolords. And like I said, this isn't the end. This is just the place where we get left at the end of the miniseries, waiting for the next story arc. Look, I get it. Comic sales are traditionally diminished with every passing issue. So these days, everybody wants to do an arc and then relaunch the next story arc with a new number one. But please give us a real ending to your story before you move on to the next adventure. That's all I'm asking. This isn't really an ending. This is just... It was, well, we superior beings don't like you, so we're sending you back to where you started at the beginning of the story, and where you started is all effed up. So, what was the point of the story then? Kind of, to me. I just kind of, oh well. Our next book is Jules Verne's Lighthouse, number 4 of 5. It is $4.99 from Shadowline Image Comics. For some reason, I was thinking this was from Top Cow, mostly because David Hyde and Brian Haberlin do a lot of stuff with Top Cow, I guess, though. They can go to any house within Image they want, if they want, So anyway, David Hyde and Brian Haberlin, writers, artist Brian Haberlin, colorist Jared Van Dyke. The genre is science fiction. And the date is, release date was July 28th, and it's for mature readers. And what it's about: all Maria Vasquez has to do is stay alive for 5 hours, armed only with a sword and a handgun, as Congre and his band of murderous pirates track her down, armed to the teeth and baying for her blood. What she doesn't know is that no one has ever survived the hunt. What they don't know is she's more badass than any of them put together, or all of them put together. Very nice issue. We get to see that Vasquez really can hold her own as she takes out one enemy, and should have taken out the leader in Congre. But she didn't, basically because she was being too honest. Instead of thinking like a person that's supposed to survive, she should have just shot him out, with his back turned. But anyway, the story's moving along very nicely. The twist at the end of the episode, or end of the issue, is really good too. Kind of feel bad about it, but it's interesting. I know that Vasquez will feel bad too in the next issue about it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Here, she's got a gun, and there's this animal that's going to kill her, but for some reason she's freezing up. And one of the enemy shoots it instead and says, well, I couldn't let that thing have the pleasure of killing you. And she's like, well, how did you find me? Well, she explains why. And then she goes, well, you should have just killed me. to the animal, and then she tries to shoot with the gun. Of course, they gave her a gun that was unloaded, so she really isn't armed with it. But she still has her sword, and she ducks the fire and kills the enemy, and with the sword, and steals her gun. That, of course, does work. And of course, she gets back. Congreve was already messed up. The pirates decide that they're going to take Vasquez's associate and kill her instead if she doesn't surrender herself to them and let them kill her. So she goes to sacrifice herself for the other person, which is stupid because the pirates will kill her and kill both of them. And the robot's explaining this. Her robot companion is explaining this. He's also explaining, you have a daughter that you need to be thinking about and other things. And so basically, he's got the gun in his hand. In the third panel on the right here, it's a long distance rifle. The robot is supposed to have programming so it won't kill innocent people, but earlier in the storyline, the black woman that's the partner there says, "Hey, rearrange my programming so that I don't have that holding me back anymore," and she reprograms him off panel. So what does he do? Well, I don't want to tell you who he shoots and kills, but I think you can kind of tell. And that's kind of the twist of the whole thing at the end. And I think it's a really cool twist, and I think it's a really well done story point. Mm-hmm. Our next book. Oh, actually, here's the cover. There's two different covers. And the one on the left is the primary cover, and the one on the right is the secondary cover. But if you put them both side by side, as you can see, it makes a really cool side-by-side image for one whole poster. And that's why I got both covers. Normally, I don't buy multiple covers, but this actually warranted it for the image. I like that. Very nicely done. Now we can get on to the next book. Strange Adventures number 11, for $4.99. Publisher DC Comics. Writer Tom King. Artists Mitch Gerads and Evan Doc Shaner. The genre is science fiction, politics, and superhero. Released July 28th. What it's about. Adam Strange may save the world, but can he save his own marriage? There are things that happened in the original war with the marauding Picts that Adam never told his wife Alana, and she wants answers now. Adding fuel to the fire is the possibility that he didn't just deceive her, but entire galactic civilizations in his quest for victory over the Picts, which raises the question, how much has been true in the stories he's told Earth to mobilize its greatest heroes against the Pict invasion right here at home? This is the big one before the finale. Massive secrets are revealed supposedly as timelines rush towards a collision. And what I think is, okay, so the jig is up, and Alana confronts Adam about the whole history of everything, even though of what she thought was the truth. Now she knows her daughter is actually alive, and the Picts have her as not so much a slave or a captive. Adam made a deal with the Picts, saying, okay, you can have so many of our people, but we get to kill so many of your people, and blah, 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 blah. We'll make it look like we won, type thing. And he's going to do the same type of thing on Earth. He's going to sacrifice a lot of different people, a lot of different Earth people and let the Pict, quote unquote, lose, but, whatever. And so they're having this personal in-house argument in their apartment. Adam pulls his laser gun, but he can't shoot her before she plans to expose him to the world, and so she turns the gun on him. What happens next? Well, you can kind of guess from the cover, right? Ho-hum, gone, whatever. Let's see how well this plays out in the final issue. Tom To me, it's another boring, no shit Sherlock. I figured this out all 10 months ago. Get to the fucking point already, King. It just, I'm not impressed with this storytelling. I haven't been. I don't know why this book got the praise it got. It's just not that good a story. Recommended for 17 and up. I gave it 2.5 stars. I don't think that I actually even scanned any original art for it, but maybe I did. Nope, I didn't. So our next book is Strange Attractors, number 3. 2021 edition, $5.99. Publisher, It's Alive. The creators are Mark Sherman and Michael Cohen. There's 3 different covers to this, and I'll show all 3 covers. But the first one is the retro cover by Michael Cohen, shown here. The standard cover is also by Michael Cohen, and the variant is by Bat and Lash. The genre is science fiction, released July 28th. Basic tale is about a young woman named Sophie, who starts in issue 1 as the new curator of the Museum of Lost Things, and by this issue, number 3, she's off gallivanting across the galaxy in an attempt to rescue a childhood friend of hers who was married Sophie's sweetheart. She's assisted in her adventure by the legendary space pilot and counter-revolutionary pirate Peg. That's the dark-haired one with the eye patch. Peg also happens to be the star of Sophie's favorite comic book, Spicy Space Stories, of which Sophie has memorized every single issue. Since the stories were usually based on the very real exploits of Peg and her associates, the Moon Marauders, Sophie actually manages to glean quite a bit of useful knowledge and history from her memories of the comics. And when fate chooses Sophie to be the hub of the upcoming galactic battle in an age-old war between magic and science, you can bet that Sophie and her friends and the readers are in for one heck of an adventure. This is the standard cover, and as you can see, it's a little bit different looking. Cohen draws a little bit different now in a lot of different ways. What I think of the book, the series, and this book is issued, but the series as a whole is extremely plot heavy. I'd forgotten just how much so. This is not a new book. This is a reprint of a series that came out in the 90s. And I read it in the 90s, but I only have like 2 issues of it left in my collection, so that's why I'm getting them over again. But it's a nice change of pace from today's no plots and all talky talk bullshit comics. And you know what I mean by that, I hope, if you're a regular comics viewer. I can only imagine what Sherman and Cohen would do co-writing, say, a Guardians of the Galaxy, or maybe a good science fiction book like Legion of Superheroes, if they were given the opportunity to do so. There's also quite a bit of high-minded intellectualism in the book, and what I mean by that, a lot of the story revolves around memory retention and mathematics, and you have to sometimes think, no, thinking, no, not that. Well, you got to think your way through the story with the characters, and the writers do not spoon-feed you the way today's writers tend to do so. And so if you miss something in the story, you miss a clue or whatever, they're not going to wait for you to catch up any more than the story waits for the characters to figure things out. So I don't know if that would be a turnoff for some readers, because that's quite possible with today's audience. They're used to having every little detail spoon-fed to them like they're idiots. They like to be, But for me, it's a blessing, because the story isn't dumbed down like so much content is today, and writers aren't beating the obvious into your skull like so many writers do today. I wonder, since this was done originally in the 1990s, is it just that they didn't write down to the audience and wanted an audience with smarts reading their book, whereas today it seems like writers are just very one-note, message-oriented, and boring as all get out? I don't know, but it's a nice change of pace anyway. It's a solid book, worth your time to hunt down and get a copy of. This is the 3rd cover of the Bat and Lash alternate cover that you're seeing on this time. I recommend it for ages 13 up. I give it 3.5 stars. And it's a black and white comic, so here's some of the interior art. I kind of wish that Cohen had gone full color on these, but I understand why he didn't. Some of the art that he did, the way he did the art in black and white, it just really wouldn't I mean, he could do it in color, but you would probably have difficulty losing some of the depth perception, the way he had to draw it in black and white. And that's just a natural thing with when you purpose something for black and white versus color. It can be drawn. It's how we draw different things for different comics and different series. Um, when you draw for a book that you know is going to be black and white, a lot of times you do a lot of extra detail. You do a lot of extra shading and gradations that you might not put in your line work if you have a colorist that's going to put all that level into it. So he's got a lot of extra stuff that coloring it would make it muddy and make you lose some of the artistic detail in the line art. So that's why it's not in color. But in a way, it's a shame that it can't be done in color. I mean, like I said, it can be, but I think it probably would suffer for it in some ways. So, yeah, 6 of one, half a dozen of another. Mm-hmm. Again, here's more of the artwork. And again, you see a lot of the heavy blacks for the backgrounds and stuff. You know, nice local close-up details of plant life and stuff, and then in the background, cross-hatching for the shading, for vegetation in the background and stuff like that. To do different levels of different depth perception. And if you did that in color, it would be a lot different. You might take out that whole back area of black and put it in a different color tone with the sky and do it that way to create depth perception. And if you do it trying to fill it in with that heavy line weight crosshatch, it would be a mess, most likely. Again, so, things like that. But really beautiful, nice, beautiful line artwork for what it is. And you got to remember, this artwork is from like 95, 96, I think, maybe originally, maybe a little bit later than that. It's over 20 years old. It's like 20, 25 years old artwork on top of it. So it holds up, I think, pretty nicely. Mm-hmm. Our next book is USAGI Yojimbo, The Dragon Bellows Conspiracy, #2 for $3.99. Publisher is IDW Publishing. Writer artist is Dan Sakai with colors by Ron Pattison, pardon me, not Pattinson, Pattison. And the cover is by David Peterson. Released July 28th. What it's about. As Usagi tracks his friend Tomo, who has been captured by Lord Tamakuro and is being tortured, he comes across an entire town slaughtered. Trying to do the right thing, he takes the corpses and hides them in a hut so that the carrion won't desecrate them. Unbeknownst to him, however, this village was entirely Ninja Clan and his bitter enemy, Sinjin's clan. Sinjin mistakenly believes Usagi wiped out the clan himself and attacks Usagi, and they battle. Meanwhile, Tamakuro makes plans for his assault on Lord Hakiji, and Jinasuke is still on the trail of Zato Ino. What I think, brilliance as always. I know that it gets very tiresome for you viewers to hear me constantly praise Dan Sakai and the Usagi Yojimbo brand. All I can say to this is when you all start buying the book and it's selling at the levels of Batman or X-Men like it ought to be, then I won't have to be talking about it and singing its praises anymore. Recommended for ages 10 and up, 5 stars out of 5 stars. Make it 7 out of 5. I don't care what you want to do. It is perfection. And here's Shinjin going after Usagi. As part of their battle scene here. Just a really well done book, as always. And that concludes our reviews for this week. Now, let's head on straight into crowdfunding, shall we? There's a lot of stuff in crowdfunding that I've gotten like 7 books in the last week. So let's talk about some of that stuff. Well, I should say I've backed. There we go. I've backed 7 titles in the last week. We'll start with The Catch, the paperback edition. Now, Steve Bryant was on the show a few days ago. We talked about The Catch a little bit. It's about a bounty hunter who goes after the small-time superhuman criminals, the toadies for the major bosses. The major bosses don't get bail; they go to prison, but the toadies and the small timers, they make bail, and when they skip bail, she's the one that traces them and tracks them down. Let's take a quick look at the video.
Hi, I'm Steve Bryant, writer-artist of Athena Voltaire, writer co-creator of Ghoul Scouts, and writer co-creator of The Catch. With the help of the Kickstarter community, we successfully funded 3 issues of The Catch, and now we'd like your help to make the trade paperback collection happen. The Catch follows Lucy Chase, a skip tracer specializing in costume criminals who jump bail. These aren't your earth-shattering mega bad guys. These are the D-listers. Deputy U.S. Marshal Jack Devlin is Lucy's on-again, off-again love interest, who sometimes provides unofficial backup when Lucy has a bounty. After a superpowered criminal jumped bail, Lucy was hired to track him down. Along the way, she stumbled upon some information that could take down every other hero and villain. Now, Lucy, the U.S. Marshal Service, and a host of superpowered lowlifes are on a collision course with destiny and each other. We have a ton of great rewards lined up, from a digital version of the book to a print version, and you can still get the individual issues or the individual variant covers in sets. You can also catch up on my previous books, Athena Voltaire or Ghoul Scouts, as samplers or as a complete library. And one of the coolest things is we've still got the box sets. We have the box set from previous campaigns. This time it's stocked with all 12 covers that we've done so far. And we've got a brand new box set that features the trade paperback and a bunch of other goodies, as well as, of course, the exclusive novelty handcuffs. And, of course, we have original art rewards, from the covers to issue 1 to single character commissions, to a signed book with a sketched postcard with it. Thank you so much for checking out the Kickstarter campaign. And if you can, please share it on your social media.
Now, of course, this ends on August 5th, Thursday. It's got 39 hours to go. As you can see, it has surpassed its goal, so this book will get fulfilled. No problem there. Steve Bryant, the writer, has done numerous products for different publishers, and shouldn't be a problem. Should be someone we can trust to get his product done. I backed this with a $30 backing. I just got the the print edition, mostly because I just couldn't afford all the other stuff I wanted. I would have loved to have gotten all the Athena Voltaire and stuff, and the Ghoul Scouts, but I'll get that stuff later from Steve, I'm sure. Well, he and I will talk about that down the road. So that's not an issue particularly. But that's one book I ordered. And let's see if I can. Did I close that? No, I didn't close it. Okay. Um, I think, pretty sure. Whoops, pardon me. Didn't want to do that. Um, I'm pretty sure that you can get that particular project at that address. I'll leave that up there for a few more moments. Again, that is the Catch trade paperback. And I think if you watch on Thursday or Friday night episode, a couple days early Thursday or Friday of last week, I think I interviewed Steve. So for more information on that, just go check the back archives for the program. You'll find it pretty easy, I'm pretty sure. Okay, our next book is Midnight Highway 1 and 2, an 80s inspired sci-fi horror comic. Again, this is also past its goal, so it will get fulfilled. 223 backers. It's got 8 days to go, so you got a little time to think about it. I backed it with a $40 pledge. I got all the books for $40. I got Midnight Highway 102, Black Jackets 1 through 3, Undercity Tales, and Hocus Pocus. I'll be shipping in November. But let's see the video.
Welcome back, all you weary travelers on the Midnight Highway, the road with no end and no beginning. Once again, experience the surreal, neon-lit adventure from the masterclass art team of Alexander Malshayev, Edwin Zaldivar, and Dave Lentz. Or travel through another dimension with the 3D version by Mateo Fuente. We've got another great show lined up for you from creators Mike Tiener and Alex Madej, so sit back and relax. Let the ominous light on the horizon be your guide as we take you on a journey so wild and bizarre, you'll never leave, even if you wanted to.
Okay, now there's all kinds of cool stuff you can get here. You get their different covers. Last issue, he escapes a horrifying creature in a high-speed chase through a lightning storm. Now he finds himself in a haunted arcade, forced to play a game called The Gauntlet for a chance to get back home to his girlfriend Kelly, or hopelessly wander the endless midnight highway if he fails. Just like this idea, I'm looking forward to it, and you know, I kind of wonder why some of these books don't get picked up by real publishers and they have to go into Kickstarter or they have to go to crowdfunding. There's just so much content out there, and I mean, this is something that Dark Horse should be publishing. This is something that Aftershock or Scout or somebody should be paying for and publishing, but it is what it is. So anyway, there's also things you can do. You can get just the regular physical copies, both of them, for like $10 each of the different covers, or you can get digital. Fright Night gets you for $20. You get physical copies and PDF copies, a trading card and a glow in the dark sticker. I'm trying to find where you get there's a retailer promotion, so if you ordered $50 more, they give you five physical copies of both the regular and 3D covers of 1 and 2. Not a bad deal for retailers. You gotta pay $75 or more to get the shirt and the trading card. There's some other weird stuff in here. I don't see it in here now, but here's some of the preview pages of the artwork, and I like it. I mean, it's a little bit. The colors are a little bit, like I said, purple, red. I'm afraid of a red shift on the printing, but we'll hope for the best on that. The 3D version won't be in full color. It'll be black and white with 3D effects, and it looks interesting in that way too. They give you a glow-in-the-dark screen print, a T-shirt. This is the stuff I think it's hilarious. You can buy this stuff extra. You can get a collector's edition VHS cassette. You almost want to know what the heck that is, just because. But how many of us have VHS players anymore? The Trans Am enamel pin is kind of cool. It's got to be a pretty big pin. It's 1.5 inches and sparkles. I mean, that's a pretty darn large pin. We're talking about a pin that's like that, probably about that big, across here. Yeah, that's pretty big. I mean, almost as big as my mouth. See, I'm not that big a mouth after all. Just kidding, folks. Anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff on this one, and pardon me. Again, you can get the entire Bad Blood collection, which is what I got. I got the Black Jackets 1 through 3, Undersea Tales 1, Hocus Pocus 1, and the 2 issues of Midnight Highway. And I'm just looking forward to reading all that cool stuff, and hopefully I'll enjoy that when it comes out in November. Again, you get a lot of cool stuff. So make sure you check that out over the next week or so. And here is the link to that one. While I go to the next one. Our next one is called Max Boost Omnibus, a collection of classic and brand new issues. It's a 275-page collectible book that covers all of the stuff that's ever been published about Max Boost. Max Boost is about the car racing scene, like Fast and Furious car racing type stuff, with street cars that you hop up and put the nitrous oxide and all that stuff in. So it should be a kind of if you're a fan of Fast and Furious, definitely want to check this out. If you're a car enthusiast of that nature, check this book out. It's a really cool series. As you can see, it's almost at $50,000, 579 backers 9 days ago. Really good stuff. Let's see what the video has to say.
This is Max Boost. Hi, my name is Dennis Kako, and as a kid, my dream has always been to work in the comic book industry. Luckily, as a teenager, I was able to do that. And during that time, in the 90s, I got my first new car, an Acura Integra GSR, which ignited my passion for racing and cars, and it was even featured in Turbo magazine. So just like the anime Initial D, I wanted to combine my passion for cars and comics to create my own called Max Boost. If you don't know Max Boost, you may know the magazine it was published in, a magazine I helped create called Import Tuner, which had about 1 million readers per month. Max Boost is a fun story of Max and friends like Otto, Papa Wheelie, Zig and Zag, and Nemesis Todd as their lives collide in Motorville, the world where speed is king. Max is an underdog in a Honda Civic trying to prove his place in the world of high horsepower when he has none. Although the story about racing and tuning culture is filled with fun, action, and comedy, it is relatable to all types of readers such as anime fans and manga fans. Unfortunately, after almost a decade of drawing, animating Max Boost, I abruptly stopped in 2006. The truth was, we almost struck a massive deal with Warner Brothers, it got canceled, and I hit rock bottom and lost almost everything, so I stopped. Fans were wondering what happened and where I went, and during these tough years, a highlight would be when a fan would randomly ask me, when will I bring Max Boost back? So I knew I would come back, I just didn't know when. So a couple of years ago, I brought Max Boost Classic Issues back on Kickstarter with Volume 1 and 2, and thank God it was a success. Between the two books, we finally reprinted all of the classic issues of Max Boost that were published in Import Tuner from 1998 to 2006. Things blew up. Because of your support, we put life back into Max Boost again, building cars, racing, sketching, doing collabs, podcasts. I think he was more concerned I was going to want the car. Yeah. And even signing at the Honda booth at SEMA, a dream come true. So now, after 15 long years, I made it here on Kickstarter to say this. I'm finally going to continue the Max Boost storyline in a new book. With your help, for the first time in forever, I am drawing Max Boost again. Introducing the Max Boost Omnibus. This book will include the entire collection of all classic Volume 1 comics, Volume 2 comics, and the brand new pages called Volume 3.1. All in all, it's over 250 pages of awesome. This book is a premium, hardbound collector's edition, signed and numbered with a book sleeve that is only available here on this campaign. This version will not be sold anywhere else. And guess what? When you order a book, you can be part of the team and help create the new story. You will help us decide which cards to use, characters, locations, dialogue, and more. And heck, I may pick a few fans to randomly have a cameo inside the comic, maybe you or your car. You can connect with us through chats, polls, and even Zoom conferences. You will have access to seeing the new characters and artwork first in a community where we will all interact and build a new Max Boost universe together. There will also be bonus pages of artwork of influencers like Dai Yoshihara, Matt Field, Gary King, Nikki Andrade, Frank Downstar, and more. We'll have sketches, brand new concept art, more of your fan art, and some more behind the scenes. Heck, your name is going to be in the list of backers too. And just for this Kickstarter, you can add exclusive, rare merch only available when you buy the book. It's not going to be available anywhere else, such as hats, banners, pins, and more. So the Max Boost Omnibus Collector's Edition is only available for a limited time, and you need to reserve your own book now by clicking on Back This Project button today. Simply pick the number of books you want, your add-ons, and you will complete your order via email after the campaign successfully ends. And guess what? If you're a previous backer for Volume 1 or Volume 2, you get a free special gift only available when you pre-order this book in the first 3 days of launch. This book is only a prototype, and if you want to help the Max Boost Omnibus become a reality, then we need your support so we can gather enough orders to meet our manufacturer's minimum requirements. And please don't forget to share this project with your friends. Your support means a lot. So I personally invite you to join the Max Boost team and be the first in the world to own your collectible copy of the Omnibus. Let's make an incredible comic together and bring Max Boost back better than ever.
And there you have it. Back that basically, partly because it reminded me of a series that I edited back in the 90s called Car Hottie that I did with creator Dave Hyatt. And it was like, I think that's what inspired him because he was into that type of racing scene and stuff like that. And I wouldn't be surprised if Max Boost actually was something that inspired him back in the 90s when he came up with that idea for Car Hottie. So, because Car Hottie was about a female version of that kind of concept instead of the male lead, it's female lead. And so I saw that on Kickstarter, and I thought I'd give it a shot in that respect. There we go. And hopefully, people, like I say, if you like Fast and the Furious or you like that kind of racing scene and street racing and stuff like that, might be of your interest. So the Kickstarter for that one is there. Let's take a quick look at some of the stuff you get with it. Of course, you get all 98 stories of the classic plus an additional storyline. This was originally seen in Import Tuner magazine. I don't know if you guys remember Import Tuner. I remember seeing it. I was just never into that scene particularly. I mean, I knew a little bit about it. I mean, Dave would send me stuff to read and keep me, so I'll be knowledgeable enough to edit the book. But this was not my scene, to be honest. But it was a pretty cool thing back then. And like I said, I think this is pretty much what was inspiring Dave back then. I could be wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised. Now, I got the collector edition early bird. It gets the book sleeve to dust cover, a collector's print. It's signed by the creator, Dennis Cacao. It's numbered and sealed. My name is added to the list of backers. And then whatever other premium bonus items this tier qualify for. And we'll see what that is when the whole series comes to a closure, or the whole campaign comes to its closure. I'm good with that. It'll be delivered in December. Looks like a good Christmas present. Hopefully he'll ship it out on time. It comes out on time. Looks like fun. You get the book sleeve. You get a dust cover. It's 275 pages. Like I said, you get all the classic back issues and another storyline. And he seems like a really nice artist. Kind of manga, but not really. It's just really nice stuff to look at his stuff. And I'm really happy to see it. Like you said, he stopped drawing Max Boost in 2006. Partly due to the crash of what would happen when his deal with Warner Brothers fell through. I've seen a lot of that go on with the industry. Not only do you lose a lot of money because you're dealing with a project, when you deal with a major company like a Warner Brothers or a Sony or Disney or somebody like that, if they license something and then it gets put on the back burner, it can tie up your ability to create new material because they've got licenses And they went, well, wait, we don't want you to do any more stuff until we've got something and we're going to do something with this, type thing. And that can be very disheartening. And I don't know if that was his actual case or if it was just the depression of having everything fall through in the movie and TV deal not go through, because that's a huge chunk of change lose in resources and stuff. So probably a little bit of both in his circumstance. I would tend to wager, knowing what I know about the industry. So it's just nice to see him back. People always wonder, and I totally understand where he's coming from. People come and see him, and, oh, when are you bringing back Mac Boost? I get the same thing. People ask me, when are you going to bring back Space the Alien? When are you going to bring back Supreme 6? When are you going to bring back stuff that they liked? And it does feel good to hear people ask you for that in some respects, but at the same time, it's like, I want to do something else too. At least for me. I don't know if he feels that way, but if nothing else, this will finish the storyline that was never finished in the Max Boost verse. So this will be telling the complete, all the 98 story chapters plus whatever many story pages is to finish off the story. That's what's going to be in this volume. So pretty cool, and I recommend that you check it out. Let me go ahead and go back to the new artwork here. He does some really nice car designs, just really beautiful stuff. I'm happy for him. I really am. There's new characters. Like I say, he's gonna let you possibly be in the car or your car be in the comic. That's pretty cool, And again, you can go to his community at, I think it's at maxboost.com, but I'm not sure. He doesn't tell you that exactly in here, but it's really a quality thing. I imagine if you look up Max Boost or Dennis Kakao in Google, you can probably find his community boards and see what's what there. But I'm definitely gonna be checking this out. This is the older stuff art-wise, and look at this. This is his classic older stuff, and then go back and look at the newer stuff up here with the way he's doing the graphics and the way he's doing the computer coloring and stuff like that. You can see how much he's grown as an artist over the years, and it looks really nice. There's just a lot of cool stuff in here. So I'm looking forward to it. Our next book is called Mercury Mouse. And it's kind of I don't want to call it a Mighty Mouse knockoff, but in a way it is, I suppose. Well, let's take a look at it. Well, let's take
edition rattles the words. Evildoers better flee! Here comes Mercury! Harvey magically transforms into superhero powerhouse, Mercury Mouse, to fight crime in action-packed Mount Metropolis. My name's Larry Raines. I'm the creator of Mercury Mouse. Mercury Mouse is an ongoing, all-age webcomic that's been in existence for over a year now. With a growing base of fans, and now over 100 pages of story, it's time to make the leap from the web into your hands as a comic book. I'm excited to announce today that I'm launching this Kickstarter campaign to help fund the printing of the first 3 issues of Mercury Mouse. All 3 issues are ready to be printed and shipped to you. I just need your support to get the ball rolling. All 3 issues are ready to be printed and shipped.
Okay. Again, it's kind of like a cross between Shazam and Mighty Mouse in a way. Like he says, he has a catchphrase instead of a word, but he transforms into this mouse character, and it's been done as a webcomic for a while now, and been pretty successful as a webcomic. He's got T-shirts you can buy on Amazon. I wish he had brought the T-shirts over, but I guess I understand why he didn't. I would have found a way, but that's just me. But you get the first 3 issues, and book 1 is 36 pages, book 2 is 44 pages, and book 3 is 40 pages. So these are all larger than normal comic book size stories. Most comics are 22 to 28 pages, so he's giving you a more story for your book. So that's not, that's worth your money. I pledged, to buy just basically the 3. We'll also get a trading card of Mercury Mouse because over $500 was unlocked as his goal. He has $753, and he only had a $50 goal, so it wasn't like he was really doing money. He makes money off the T-shirts. He makes money off his webcomic. This was just an extra bonus for people who wanted to get into this and get the printed version. There's only 21 backers, and I think there should be a lot more backers for this. So make sure you get this. There's only 4 more days, and 3 books for $21 is $7 a book for oversized printed page count comics. I mean, it's not bad. Not a bad deal at all. Take a good look at those artwork again. And there's some of the interior pages as well. And again, you can always go check it out at mercurymouse.com as well. So let's move on to our next book. That's Paranormal. Superhuman Criminals in the noir graphic novel. It has 6,500 pledged, well over its goal. 56 hours to go, so a little bit over 2 days left.
Hi, I'm Dan Christensen, and I'm an American cartoonist and translator. I've been writing and drawing comics here in France for the past 20 years, and today I'd like to introduce Paranormal, my latest project with Black Eye Books. Paranormal, which was originally published in France a few years ago, takes place in a world where the supernatural, magic, and weird science rub shoulders with supervillains, werewolves, and unexplainable events. Black Eye Books is now releasing a remastered, full-color version in trade paperback form of the first 3 volumes of the series. Paranormal is a retro-noir crime story that shows the dark side of superhero fiction as told from the supervillain's point of view. I hope you'll join us and find out more about the book in the weeks to come. Thanks for stopping by.
Okay. Now, this is basically about a story called it takes place in Los Angeles, about a guy named Ogre. He just got released from prison, and he was hoping to reunite with his wife and not go back to criminal activity. Unfortunately, things doesn't work out that way. His wife leaves him, and one of his former accomplices, a criminal named Ratface, murdered several police officers and stolen a drug shipment from LA's deadliest crime lord. And the police can't stop Ratface alone. The local superheroes refuse to help, and ever since the police murdered one of the superheroes, so Detective Griffin, the very same cop who arrested Ogre, finds him and forces him to hunt down Ratface. Pretty interesting situation. Now, of course, this was published, like you said, in France originally, and this will be printed in August release as a 106-page full-color trade paperback graphic novel with a matte laminated cover, and it has French flaps on all copies as basically, not that big of a deal, but it's nice that they do it. For $23 is what I got. That's Canadian, $28 or more, $23 ours in America. I got the digital and the trade paperback. I wasn't looking for a whole bunch of extra stuff. You could have gotten more with a book plate and postcards and stuff like that. And that's cool, but it wasn't what I'm not one of those who has to get all that stuff when I back books. I want a book to read. I don't need all the extras as a general rule of thumb. But if they happen to add it, fine. Like if there was going to be a sketchbook section if they reach 5,000. Well, I don't know if they're going to do that. Well, yeah, they did. So they said 6,000. So there's going to be a sketchbook and another mini series in there as well, mini story. So nice stuff overall. Jay Stevens, Bernie Gonzalez, Victor Santos are some of the people who are going to give you the cards. There's your book plate, is that little scene right there. So overall, it's interesting. I'll be looking forward to that when it comes out. If you like Mike Avon Oming for Powers or I can't remember the thing. Not the Afterrealm. The Afterrealm is D&D type fantasy. He does another one that's not Powers, it's his. I can't remember the name of it. They did a Dark Horse about superheroes and supervillains and stuff, and I cannot remember the life of me. Just give me a second, I'll find it. The Victories. That's what it was. So that's what I was trying to think of. So that would be, if you're into powers or victories or some of those other things, this will be your type of book as well. Let me go ahead and get that link up there for you. Again, let's take a look at some of that artwork. It's nice and clean. Okay, move on to the next one. And that will be Shortbox, which doesn't have a video attached to it, unfortunately, but we'll look at it. And Shortbox is a collection of 5 different comics that you get all in one package, and some candy, and they ship it from England. And it's curated by Zainab Akhtar. A lot of people probably have heard that name recently in conjunction with Frank Miller being uninvited to a certain convention because of her complaints about him being anti-Semitic with his work in recent times with Holy Terror and some other stuff. And some people are complaining about, that. Well, I don't know what to say about that as far as, I think she makes some valid points, but I think and to some extent, maybe she went a little overboard, but at the same time, I don't think it's enough for me to say I'm not going to order stuff from her, because it's not her, it's other creators who are making these books, so why punish them because of what she said or did? It's kind of the way I looked at it. Plus, I already made my selection before I heard about that, so I'm not going to pull it just because, pull my backing just because of that. It's just not fair to the other creators involved, and it's not like they had anything to say about it. So what's in the box? You get Gristle by Lily Blakely, 72 pages, black and white. It's about a young paranoid woman who finds a mysteriously fleshy plant, and it does weird things. And it's just, kind of a weird thing going on with it. And it's, interesting. I thought I'd go ahead and check that out. Bun's Comfort Food Corner is kind of like a cookbook of sorts. It's kind of a cool little thing, has a little bit of low maintenance go-to recipes that can be used in it, as well as telling a story about someone trying to learn how to cook. So that's, it's cute. Temple by Jack T. Cole. 30 pages, full color, saddle stitch with French flap cover. For those who don't remember Jack T. Cole did a book for Image called Tartarus, and I reviewed that last year. And it was very nicely drawn, and that's part of the reason why I got this, because it was like, yeah, I know I'm going to like the artwork if nothing else. So I'm looking forward to that. It's about a wolf that journeys through lush lands to a magical temple floating in the sky. It's a wordless comic, so everything relies on Jack's art. So let's see how it goes. Moving is Louis Yang, 36 pages, it's black and white, saddle stitch. Two women prepare to move house, but as day dawns and removing people come and go, they find themselves unable to leave the place that they were living. Interesting storyline. See where that goes. The cover I really do like. The interior art, I'm not sure, but I'm only seeing one image here, so we'll see how that turns out. I'll probably like them because I like the last books I got from the last short box shipment. And then I See a Night by Julia Vicente. There we go. 40 color pages, saddle stitch with spot gloss cover. And Olivia has been able to see a headless knight, invisible to everyone else since childhood. And as she gets older, she becomes accustomed, but sooner or later she figures out that she has to confront it. That looks like fun. And then Mahong, you get an A4 print by Joseph Riddick. That should be pretty cool. Looking forward to seeing that little thing. It's called Mahong. It's just a nice, cute little print. You can get the books in English, all 5 books, or you can get I See a Night and Moving in Spanish and the other 3 books in English. Either way, which is pretty cool because a lot of books aren't available in foreign languages. And here in America, if you're an English as second language teacher like I used to be, people like Mark Andrew Smith, who's usually watching the show, he teaches a lot of English and other things going on with military and foreign people as well. So, when you have that kind of a thing going on, it's a benefit to have those tools of a comic in a language that is in other people's languages and then translate and talk about it. It helps them understand it. So I'm happy to see that offered. She explains all the costs of of everything is, what the stretch goals are, etc. So I'm looking forward to that. I got the 5 comic books plus the suites with all the books in English, mostly because I'm not teaching right now. If I was teaching, I would get I'd ask for all 5 books in English and then a couple in Spanish. In fact, I'd probably write her and say, hey, I need X amount of stuff for my students for foreign languages in all likelihood, just so I could do that and help promote it that way. But when does this ship exactly? October. So that'll be really cool stuff. Again, a week to go. They're over double their goal, so they're going to ship. And that's 1,000, a little over 1,100 backers. I'd like to see us get to about 1,500 backers before the end of the week, if possible. For another 7 days, let's get it there. Okay, folks? Let people know about it. And this is Kickstarter Project Shortbox. And we got one more book to go for the Kickstarters tonight. And before someone asks, why don't you have any Indiegogo books? Indiegogo just doesn't seem to have the titles that interest me as much. And I know that surprises a lot of people. Well, how can you say that? Look at all the people that are on Indiegogo. Yeah, a lot of overrated, overhyped, has-been Marvel DC guys. Who are the guys who pushed me off of Marvel and DC as a reader back in the 90s and 2000s? That's who's at Indiegogo. If that's the creators you like and you like their stuff, all the power to you. Go check it out. But it's not what I'm looking for. So I tend not to find stuff on Indiegogo as much. But when I find something on Indiegogo, believe me, I'll let you know. Lastly, but not leastly, shall we say. Leastly is no word, but you know, it's Beast Hunting Battle Badgers by Steve Sims. 240-page graphic novel with 11 days to go. What do we got, Steve?
Hello mateys, my name is Steve Sims, a creator and artist of Beast Hunting Battle Badgers. Having recently completed the 6-issue story arc, it's finally time for the Badger Brothers to make their way to Kickstarter for their biggest adventure yet, the Battle Badgers Collected Volume. Battle Badgers is the tale of Flint and Laird, the last 2 badgers of the Brockvale tribe. Armed with trusty Hedgehammer and twin Bracken blades, they seek to free the rest of their kin who have been magically imprisoned by a mysterious moon mystic known only as the Shriek. With only their wits and weapons to aid them, they step out into the wilds on a quest to bash some beasties and free the rest of their furry family. Beast Hunting Battle Badgers is an all-ages fun fantasy adventure full of monsters, magic and beastly bust-ups. Inspired by classics such as Asterix, Ninja Turtles and USAGI YOJIMBO, it's a good old epic anthropomorphic action-adventure aimed at anyone who loves a good tale of furry-based fantasy fisticuffs. The collected volume will be a 240-page black and white graphic novel collecting all 6 issues of the Beast Hunting Battle Badgers story arc, along with lots of sketches, artwork and other unseen bits that went into the production of the series. There's also a lot of art, goodies and extra gubbins up for grabs. All the artwork and pledge items are already done and produced, so it's just a case of pressing the button. Anyway, enough of them plugs and all that. Come on Badge, get moshing.
Cute, right? Very cute. Anyway, I'm trying to remember. I ordered the Bundle Badger, which is basically the physical copy, a pin badge. There's 5 art prints and a vinyl sticker, but he has other things available. First, let's take a look at some of this artwork. Just really well done. Nice grayscales that he's working on for his shading. Computer generated, but nevertheless, well done. Again, if you like stuff like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or USAGI YOJIMBO, this is, up your alley for certain. And there's been 6 issues. It gets collected in one hardcover volume rather. And there'll be some color stuff inside. And then there's some sketch pages in there, of course, as you can see. And some color work in there for the gallery. again, you get the badger, you get the bundle badger, you get the book, you get these 5 prints, and you get that little badger sticker as well. And you get a little sticker badge of the badger logo on the left there as well. Now, there's this A4 sketch badger for $50. You don't get all the bundle badger, but you get a one-off sketch of whatever character, and he's drawn 20 of them specifically that you can pick from. That there's a limit, and I don't know which ones he's already given away, because he's already emailed me and said if I wanted to buy one of the A4s and either do it separate from these, but he says he has some of these left. So I don't know. I'm like, do I need to pick? I mean, all of them are cool. I'm happy with any of them, to be honest. I'm not going to be fussy. I don't know the characters or anything, so it's like, what do I care? It's just a cool cover, type thing, but or cool artwork to me. But I'll have to email Steve about it, and because Steve's probably going to come on the show and talk about it for too long, I hope. How many more days has he got left here? 11 days. So hopefully sometime within the next week, I'll be able to get Steve on the show, because he's in the UK. And so it's a little bit different hours, because he's like 5 hours different. So like now it's like 4:45 in his neck of the woods. So, it's like, I don't want him being up all night talking to me. So we're going to have to schedule something a little bit different if I have him on, when I have him on. So that'll be a thing. But that's 35 pounds. It's $50 US, just so you guys understand, for that, for what I got. And I'm also going to get I also bought a backer, an extra thing for one of those type of A4 sketches. So we'll see what happens. I'll talk to him about it. You can also buy original page work from the actual books as add-ons at 65 pounds a page. That's about $90 American, and that's really a good price for the original art. Of course, this is the black and white. You don't see the grayscaling in here, so the computer grayscale color is not there. Shading, it's just the line art, but still, just the line art has some really nice texture and quality, depth perception to it on its own. So, and that's the difference I was trying to tell you about earlier in the episode tonight. When you draw certain things certain ways, if you're really good at line art, whether you're doing grayscaling or whether you're doing color with a color computer-wise, there's line art that is quality that can give you that depth perception without it, and then there's people who do it specifically with that type of scaling in it, and without the scaling it doesn't look quite the same. This is a guy who understands how to put the line art together and then have computer grayscale just add an extra dimension to it. Not everybody knows how to do that. Now, he makes it very clear. He's using international standard economy services. They keep the prices down on international packaging sales. It means that these items are going to take longer because they're going to ship by boat rather than by air. But he wants to try and keep your prices down because shipping does cost a lot for air shipment. Let me see if I can show you that there. I understand exactly where he's coming from. I ordered some stuff from Cinebook from the UK, and it cost me, I think I spent like $130 on $130 or $180 on books, and I had they air shipped it, and it was like $35-40 shipping on top of it. So it was like It got here though. I'm not going to complain, but it would just, wow. And the reason I bought that stuff from the UK for Cinebook was because Diamond couldn't bother to get the books I wanted from my retailer. Bummer, huh? But anyway, that is our last book of that. And let's make sure you check that out. Here is the link. Got 11 days to go. It's well past its pledge. Got a decent number of backers. Let's try and see if we can get that up to 300, 400 backers, though, if we can, folks. Get the word out. Share it around. Let people know it's there. Okay. Now it says, you're a backer. You pledged 73 pounds. What does that mean? Well, basically, I know you guys saw what I backed, that 35 pound for the book. That 73 is for that extra A4 sketch, in addition to the booklet. Whether he does that through the 20 that are there, or he does a new one for me specifically, or whatever, and the shipping on top of that. That's why it's that high, just so you guys understand. It won't be that high without that. If I were to manage, let me go back to managing so you guys can see what it means. It's actually 25 and it's like 38 pounds. And 30, because it'd be 30. It's 25 for the book and 13 for, or 35 and 13. Pardon me. So 35 and 13 is 48 pounds, or about $65. I think is what that comes out to total for shipping, but in American, if that's how you do it. So anyway, that's what the deal is. And that, my friends, covers all of our Kickstarter crowdfunding for the night. I'll do some more crowdfunding later next week, hopefully. Maybe even get some people on to promote their books. We might revisit these. We might revisit other things. But until then, we got more to talk about. Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do. We have previews to talk about. This is the new previews. Just came out last week. On the left is the front cover. On the back is on the right is the back cover of the previews catalog. What's in this previews? Well, there's quite a bit of stuff. Here's what I ordered. Image Comics. I got the Essential Guide to Comic Book Lettering soft cover from page 58. That's $16.99. Time Before Time, Volume 1. Volume 1 trade paperback on page 67 of the catalog. I believe that collects issues 1 through 5, and it's also $16.99. And then I got Deep Beyond number 9 out of 12 issues on page 79. That's $3.99. From Dark Horse Comics, I'm ordering May's book number 2 of 5 on page 102 of the catalog for $3.99, I believe it is. Norse Mythology 2, number 5 out of 6 issues, page 110, again, $3.99. And Rangers of the Divide, trade paperback, page 113. And I believe that is $19.99. So that's what I'm getting from Dark Horse out of this catalog. From IAW, I'm getting Bermuda, number 4 out of 4, page 129. That's $4.99. Usagi Yojimbo, number 23. And Usagi Yojimbo Dragon Bellow Conspiracy, number 5 out of 6. And, of course, those are both on page 144. And, of course, those are both $3.99. kind of, I'm getting USAGI. It's kind of a given. From Dynamite Entertainment, who I almost never buy anything from. This is the first time I've ever bought a Dynamite book. It's a trade paperback called Saved by a Whisker. And it's about a little cat, a little kitten, page 168. And it's inspired by it basically is a children's book. And this is a story we've seen many a time about a pet who gets lost when the family moves cross country and the animal finds their way cross country. We've seen this story many a time, but I for some reason it just caught my eye. Here's some of the artwork for it. I don't know why. It looks cute. I'm going to give it a shot, And if nothing else, I can always give it to my library because the kids will like it at the library if I don't like it. So, no problem there. Good worth my time. From Aftershock Comics, we got Beyond the Breach #4 on page 251 and Clans of Bellaria at #4 on page 252. I might also have another book from them, I'm not sure, called Campisi. Hold on a second. Campisi, the Dragon Incident. And I'm not really sure. I have a question mark by it. It's issue #3, but I don't remember ordering issue 1 or 2. So I'm not really sure. But if I am ordering Campisi, then I'll get it. If I'm not, then I'm, haven't ordered the back issues, I won't get that one. From AWA Studios, this is the first time I'm ordering something from AWA. It's ETER, and that's Extraterrestrial Emergency Room. One shot, page 285. It's basically, I don't know if you guys remember the James White Sector General science fiction novels about the extraterrestrial hospital in space. That's what this is. It's basically that kind of the concept. And I love the Sector General novels, so I thought I'd give this a shot and see what it is. It's only a one-shot book. It's like $3.99, $4.99. What the heck? Our next book I'm getting is from Black Mass Comics. It's Everfrost #4 of 4 on page 294. I've just reviewed Everfrost 2 last week. It's not bad. It's better. I'm hoping it'll get better than it is, but it's not bad. So hopefully by the time that the series finishes, I'll be happy with it. We'll see. From Heavy Metal Magazine, Heavy Metal 311, page 327. It's Alive Publishing, Strange Attractors, which I just reviewed Strange Attractors #3. They're soliciting Strange Attractors #7 in this issue of previews. From NBM Publishing, Silent Invasion Volume 4, Dark Matter on page 346. I've already got volumes 1 through 3 of Silent Invasion. Very cool stuff. I may have to come back and revisit those on a future edition so that you guys can learn a little bit more about it again. From Razor Bill Publishing, Sleepover trade paperback on page 366. It's an interesting storyline idea. Babysitter's been replaced, and is the new babysitter a monster, or is the lead character just letting his imagination go a little bit overboard? But we'll see where that goes. From Scout Comics, there's Red Shift #4 of 6. I've only gotten the first issue so far. And then there's Stabby Bunny, Volume 1 trade paperback 3 from page 371 from our good friend Dwayne Biddix. If you don't want to order this, then go over on the Scout. They just ordered a special box edition of Stabby Bunny that they're offering with all the books signed or something, all the single issues signed or something special like that. You can go to scoutcomics.com, look that up, Stabby Bunny, because Dwayne deals with a lot of psychological, emotional issues, depression, and it does pertain a lot to comics and his success or lack thereof. So I'd like to see more people give him give him a good look at his art that's getting published and give it a shot. I think you guys will enjoy it. It'll help him out, not just financially, but I think it'll help him psychologically, mentally, give him a little more, a little less anxiety if he knows people actually do want to see him do well and be successful. And then from tomorrow's publishing, we have back issue number 132, page 401. They'll be doing a feature on Wolverine. I don't know exactly what all they're going to be having, but usually back issue has good stuff in it. It's usually one of the better historical news information magazines. It's usually one of the best ones out there. And that's just the stuff I'm ordering for sure. Now, there's other stuff worth mentioning. There's Nita Hawes' Nightmare blog from Image on page 52 of the catalog. I'm not pre-ordering it, but I'm going to look at it and I might get it in the store. There's Fine Print Volume 1 from Image on page 60. Interesting concept. I just don't have them. I don't think we have the money this go around. I might wait until it's second printing or third printing or something. I don't know. We'll see. No One Left to Fight 2, number 1 of 5 from Dark Horse, page 100. Truth is, I'm just not interested after reading the first series, but I know I reviewed the first series and gave it a fairly decent review for the series, and the artist is still, somebody I like as far as that goes. Hold on a second. I want to make sure I got his name. Okay, Fico Assia. I was like, is Fico his first or his last name? But he's doing the artwork, and I'll do a quick back to the camera here. There's his on the left there. The whole book is that kind of crazy coloring and stuff like that. And it's a cool looking book, don't get me wrong. Very interesting neon coloring stuff there. But like I say, the story didn't really grab me that much. I like the art, but I didn't really care for the story as much. So I'm going to pass on it this time. But for people who liked it and liked when I reviewed it, the first miniseries, I'm letting you know it's coming up again, the new story arc. So make sure you check that out. There's Mobius Library, Dr. Mobius and Mr. Gare trade paperback. That's mostly an interview with Mobius, and I think it's $40 or $50. Let me look, make sure I know what the price on that is. That's page 113. What is the price on that? It's $30, and it's 250 pages, but most of it is like a translation. I don't know. It's interesting, but we'll see. I'll give it a shot, maybe if I see it around, but I don't think it's, like I said, $30 is a little bit pricey for me right now, especially after I invested so much on the crowdfunding this week. I have to be very careful about what I do and don't pre-order and stuff like that. There is The House of Slaughter, number 1, Boom Studios, page 208. This is a spinoff of Something is Killing the Children, which has been a very successful series for Boom. I like reading Something is Killing the Children in trades, so I'm going to trade weight on this as well. There's Tom Holland's Fright Night from American Mythology on page 258. This is a continuation or a new story based on the classic 1980s movie Fright Night, which Tom Holland was the creator of, and is one that featured Roddy McDowell as the monster hunter type guy who had to help the teenager whose next door neighbor was a vampire. Really cool movie. So, I don't know where they're going with this. Holland is just kind of there. I mean, they know it's his property. They bought the rights from him, but he's not actually creating the book. Let's see, 258. It's actually written by James Corrick with artist Cyrus Masarcia and Neil Vokes. I don't know if Neil Vokes is just doing covers or if Neil's doing interior art or what the deal is here. It doesn't really explain that. But, you know, we'll see how it turns out. You know, it should be interesting. And Diamond's really high on that book. They even did an interview with Tom Holland in the previous catalog about this book. So obviously, retailers should be paying attention because they're trying to get people to check that book out. There's Perhaps Not Second Chances graphic novel, Scout Comics, page 370. This reprints the Second Chances storyline from Dark Horse from years ago and also the first annual. I already have all that stuff, but if you don't have Perhaps, you've never checked out Perhaps, this is a good place to start. This is, you know, a place to get your ground floor info, get that nice story. It is a good story, and you will not be disappointed by it. There's the Wonderbound line on pages 410 and 411 from Vault Comics. The actual books are not in your order catalog. You have to talk to the retailers, take the previews catalog, tell them to look at those pages, because you can't even order it out of the catalog. They're not listed. I think it's because that's like a advertising blurb for something that was actually solicited last month, if I'm not mistaken. But you need to pay attention to that and make sure that you get your books ordered. And this is what those two pages look like. There is The Unfinished Corner, which is about a girl who has to finish the imaginary storyline. There's Rassel Castle, about a female medieval girl who wants to kind of be a boy in a way. Her brother is sick, so she has to be the wrestling champion. Hello, my name is Poop. Kind of a silly cartoony thing. And Verse, The Broken Half. I'm looking at getting Verse of these four, but you know, if I had more money, I'd probably pick up Unfinished Corner and Rassel Castle as well. But the one I'm actually looking for is Verse Book 1. And again, those are on page 410 and 411 of this catalog. All right. You might want to check last month's catalog. Have your retailer check last month's catalog. Vault Comics is the publisher. See if that's in the back issues or it was solicited in last month's book. I would grab mine, but it's on the other side of the room. So there's that. There's Marvel Meow, The Cosmic Misadventures of Chewie, Captain Marvel's Pet from Viz Comics on page 437. What is that? Well, what is that? Chewie is whatever that cat-like creature is from the movie that ate the Tesseract and then puked it up at the end of the thing and tore up Nick Fury's eye. Well, it's a story about him. Yeah, I thought that was cute and worth mentioning. And this is a webcomic that was done in Japan that Marvel happened to dig, and Viz got the license for it, and it's just little black and white comic strips where this little Captain Marvel's pet cat has little adventures with Spider-Man and Wolverine and Iron Man and Galactus and Thanos and other characters. So, you know, if you're kind of like me and sick of regular Marvel books, and you know you want something that kind of mocks those characters a little bit, that's what this might do a little bit. Well, make fun of the Marvel universe a little bit. Maybe that's up to your alley. And lastly, we have Ghost in the Shell, Human Algorithm Volume 2 from Conan Nasha, page 451. I missed Volume 1 solicitation. I'll get Volume 2 if I can get Volume 1 in back order. I don't know. But I am a huge Ghost in the Shell fan. So, if I can get a new storyline from them, if that's even a new storyline, I'm not even sure. But, I'll check it out and try and learn more about it and see what's what on that. And if I get it, I get it. So you can see there's quite a bit in the previews catalog that's worth it. And again, I looked through the Marvel section. I didn't see anything I really wanted. I'm sorry. I wish there were. I did not look at DC because DC doesn't have a catalog and didn't give me a DC Connect with this catalog like they did last catalog. I don't know why. Kind of weird. So I haven't really looked at what DC has to offer yet. So we'll do that next week on Monday or Tuesday. We'll talk about what DC has to offer for shipping in October in conjunction with this catalog as soon as I find the information about it online. And that pretty much covers our show for tonight, folks. We got in under 2 hours. I was thinking it was going to be a little bit longer because of so much information. Hope I didn't bore you to death too much. But that's pretty much what we got from the show. Now, there is a little bit more to say. People are going to wonder what's going on for the rest of the week. And tomorrow, Wednesdays, what did you get this week? Now, again, my comic shop, the books, I don't know if they're going to be available, when they're going to be available tomorrow. I don't know, okay? Thursday will either be Thursday night feature with the movies. I'll be talking about Batman, not Batman the movie, but like a multiple of Batman animated series movies. Batman, Harley Quinn, Batman the Killing Joke. I don't even remember. There's like 2 or 3, maybe more over there. I just got them from the library. I haven't had a chance to sit down and watch them yet. Or it'll be a roundtable chat room with a guest, and I'm not exactly sure who that guest is off the top of my head. I was just talking to him a little while ago today. Let me check my messenger real quick. Oh, of course, you don't want to show me what I need to see. I hate that. There it is. Okay, I just found out that my guest that I was thinking about won't be able to do it until next week. So he'll be on the 12th. All right. That means I'll be doing Batman on Thursday. We now know for sure. Batman Thursday. Friday will be a roundtable chat with Matthew Sumo and Peter Collins. We'll be discussing their series, The Bardic Verses, which is about to go on Kickstarter. And then Saturday, since we're not going to have the roundtable with Ben Perkins, Ben will be next week. We'll have, I don't know if Saturday night I'm going to do anything on Saturday because I really need to take a break, and I need to take a break from the live draw as well. Sorry about it. I had to change my camera angle for a minute there when I was looking for something. But so again, tomorrow, what did you get this week? Thursday will be Batman animated movies. Friday, we'll be talking with Matthew Sumo and Peter Collins about their series, The Bardic Verses, which is soon to be solicited on Kickstarter. I don't know what we're doing. If I'm going to do a Saturday live draw, probably not. I'm probably just going to take a break this weekend because I need to get stuff done for next week on the 14th. So I'll get into all that in just a second. Next week, Monday, I'll be reviewing whatever I got in the comic shop tomorrow. I'll also be reviewing Attaboy from, oh, geez. Why can't I think of his name? My apologies. Tony McMillan. There we go. So I'll be reviewing that on Monday. Maybe some additional stuff that I haven't gotten around to yet as well. And then on Tuesday, we'll try and do a little more crowdfunding discovery. If you mentioned, and if you happen to be a crowdfunding supporter, if it's Indiegogo, I don't care. If it's, Kickstarter, whatever, you see something you think I should be looking at and checking out, let me know. There's my email on the screen, quotheravenlbr72@gmail.com. Let me know. Give me a link. I'll check it out. And if I like it, I'll share it. Okay? But Wednesday, again, what did you get this week? Thursday next week will be Ben Perkins, and we'll be talking about his series. I can't think of the name of the project now. Darn it. And it's not listed here. Well, I'll get back to that on that, guys. But anyway, then Friday of next week, we'll be doing our regular Friday night features, I think. And that'll be Picard Season 1. We'll be reviewing Picard Season 1. And then that will take us through the 14th, Saturday, I believe. And if I'm not mistaken, let me make sure on this, just to be on the safe side. I want to make sure I know what's going on here and what Yes, August 14th, Saturday, will be Free Comic Book Day. And I will be there at Scratch and Spin Records. I'll get some more details on that. But I'll be there as one of the guest stars, along with Mike Hoffman, Clay Patterson, and some others. And so I'll be selling prints and original art and stuff like that there on Saturday. So that's one kind of why I need to take a break this weekend, so I can get more original art done and stuff sold for that. So there you go, folks. That's what the schedule is for the rest of this week and next. You're all caught up, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you all for watching, as always. If you have questions or you want to reach out to me and contact me about what you think is going on in books or news or whatever, you can contact me on Facebook, Lewis.BrightRaven, at Twitter at LewisBrightRaven2, on deviantart.com/BrightRaven. You can see some more of my artwork. You're watching Quoth the Raven, Lewis Bright Raven, exclusively on YouTube from now on, because Facebook is just being pissy. I'm not going to get too much into that unless someone asks me about it later. You can reach me at quotheravenlbr72@gmail.com. That's the best way to reach me for inquiries related to the show, inquiries related to any of these Kickstarters or crowdfunding things that I put on the channel. But if you can't reach me through Gmail, try lewisbrightraven@yahoo.com. Again, Mondays is usually our comics and reviews. Wednesdays is our What Did You Get This Week? Thursday nights at 9 is usually our round table talk. Fridays at night is usually genre night, sometimes with guests, sometimes with not. This week, those dates are reversed. Thursday will be the genre night. I'm talking Batman animated movies. Friday night is our round table talk. Our guests, again, are Matthew Sumo and Peter Collins, and we'll be talking about their series, The Bardic Verses. Live draws usually on Saturdays or Sundays. I'm probably not going to do that this week because I'm getting prepped for Free Comic Book Day next weekend. So if you like this video, or you think others might like the video, please hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons to continue to get content from this channel. As always, I thank you for your support. We'll see you tomorrow sometime, depending on whenever my comic book shop gets their comics. And we'll talk about what I got. And until then, have a good night. See you next time.